I have seen amazing things, and I was praying about sharing those. I've seen generosity of a youth. I've seen food multiply, but I was trying to, is that the story? Is that the testimony I want to share? And I was praying through that, and the answer was no. And so if you want to hear how food multiply, actually in front of my eyes, you can ask me later. Today I want to talk about listening to God, and I'm going to try to be quick, but it's a story of confession. Everybody wants to hear the voice of God. And I always tell people, every time I hear the voice of God, it's correction. Everybody hears different things, but every time God speaks to me audibly, it is correction. And so I want to share the first time that happened to me. I was an early ministry intern, maybe 3 or 4 months into the ministry, and I was learning how to do this pastoral thing. I had no idea what I was doing. I had a great lead pastor teaching me. And he said, there's a woman who's called, and she was asking the church for money. Now, we don't do that, but we do have a food pantry in the church. And I want you to go and bring her some food. Give her a call, schedule a time. And I was like, okay, I can do that. I'm good. And so I call, and I talk to her, and she answers, and she goes, what church are you from? I was like, I'm from the Danvers Church of the Nazarene. And she goes, yeah, I talked to your pastor there. He said he was going to bring me some money. And I was like, no, because I talked to that same pastor, who's my best friend, and we don't do that. Are you sure? Because yes, I'm sure, but I do want to schedule a time with you to bring some groceries by. Okay, that's fine. But if you want to talk to him about the money thing, I say, yeah, I thank you. So the day of, I call her, say, hey, I'm heading over, I'm on my way. She said, did you talk to the pastor? There was a lady who answered the phone, and she said she was going to give you some money for me. Ma'am, we're not bringing any money, but I am going to bring you some groceries. And I packed up 10 bags of groceries for this woman. I packed it all up, and I start driving over to where she is. I call her to let her know I was there in front of her apartment. And she didn't answer. And I'm like, this woman is going to drive me bananas. This is I'm trying to meet with you. I'm early, I guess. I'm 5 minutes early. But she didn't answer. I call her again. She answers. She says, oh, yeah, come on up. Meals on Wheels was just by. Just come right in so I don't have to get up from my chair. And I'm like, okay. I get in. I bring all of these groceries up 4 flights of stairs. And I remember walking up and down with these groceries, and I was getting a little irritated. Because every time I was walking in, she had this face that was very distasteful, like she was upset at me. And I'm like, what is going on with this woman? So I bring all the groceries in, and by the time I bring them all in, she stands up, and she goes, I don't want that, I don't want that, I don't want that, I don't want that, you can keep that. And these things, can you put them up there, and can you put those over there, and organize this, and do that? And I'm like, lady, I came to drop you off some food. Again, early in my ministry. So she parceled out everything she didn't want, which was about 6 of the 8 bags. Maybe she kept 3 bags. But I had organized everything for her. And then I got to talk with her, and she was like, Ann, did you bring the money that you promised me? The guy who called earlier promised me he was going to bring money. I'm like, ma'am, I was the guy. There is no money. And so in my training, it's like, hey, we're going to pray. Is there anything I can be praying for you about? Is there anything I can be doing for you? It's, oh, I'm having the surgery. You can pray that, and it's really expensive. If you happen to have any money laying around, I'm like, ugh. So I can feel the frustration. In the end, I prayed with her. I left. I brought most of the groceries back down to the car. And I'm in the car, and I'm upset. And I'm like, God, why? Why did you send me to her? I got no conversion. I got no... what is the point of all this? And then I get a call from her phone number. She called me back. And I was like, hello? And like, I remember the elation that was there. I was like very excited, like, man, she's going to be grateful. And I said, hello? She's like, hi, who's this? And I was like, oh, I'm Alan. I'm the person who just dropped those groceries off. So, oh, you call, oh, click. She had just called me back because she had missed my call earlier. She had no interest in saying thank you. And here I am, now very upset. And I am in the car driving home, and I am angry. I'm like, who does this woman think she is? And I want to say prayer anger for about 5 whole minutes of just driving home. And then I said this. I remember, I said, Lord, she doesn't even deserve your grace. And that's when the Lord said, did you? 2 words radically changes my viewpoint on everything. Did you? Because here I am trying to be God, as Emily was talking about, trying to be God and saying, who does this woman think she is? She's you. She's everyone. Right? Like, I remember those words, and I had to stop driving, pull over, and bawl. Because I was so overwhelmed, I was afraid I was going to crash. And so I tell people, and God's corrected me a couple times now, but I'm very grateful because every time he does, it is a radical change in my perspective. I praise God for that rebuking because it changes my perspective in a way that I can worship him better. I can serve the people around me better for him. And so, if you say, God, I just want to hear your voice, I give you that warning. Sometimes it can be a sweet, soothing balm, but sometimes it can be a correction to change your viewpoint on how this world operates, that his kingdom is coming, and that he is the judge, not us. Thank you.